So, what is NHNZ's market? NHNZ's programs must appeal to audiences in the US, China, Kenya, Germany, Iceland, Brazil, big and small countries everywhere. What we know from research is that all people have, even if they have a suspicion of science, have a natural curiosity for science-based technology. They like to know what's new and how things work. In fact, there's a series on the Science Channel in the United States called How It's Made. That shows how everything from chainsaws to slot machines are designed and manufactured. What it shows is an inherent curiosity about the mechanics of the world we live in. That fascination with how stuff works lies behind the success of a hugely popular subject which makes up a significant percentage of NHNZ's output. And that's engineering. We've done 2 series of man-made marvels for Discovery Channel's Asia, featuring engineering projects through the Asia region. We've filmed in Malaysia, China, South Korea, Japan, Singapore, Taiwan, and Macau.
Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia's capital, is under siege from flash floods. Powerful forces of nature that bring the city to its knees. But Kuala Lumpur is fighting back. A daring construction project will try to bring the mighty floods under control. Massive floodgates across 3 rivers, 6 kilometers of canals, giant storage ponds, and a state-of-the-art stormwater tunnel that doubles as an underground highway. It will be an epic battle of man versus nature, fought on the front lines of a modern city. The challenge, to pick up the ocean and move it onto the land. Include the biggest fish in the world and house it all in the largest aquarium in Asia. For architects, engineers and marine scientists in Okinawa, Japan, this is the challenge of a lifetime. The aquarium has to be big enough to house not 1, but 3 ocean giants. Inside a tank with the world's largest viewing window, holding 7.5 million liters of water in an earthquake zone. At stake, the lives of thousands of precious marine creatures, the reputation of Okinawa's premier architect, and Japanese design and technology. If they can get it right, the Okinawa Aquarium will be a monster attraction, a truly breathtaking man-made marvel.
Above a Chinese river sits the tallest stone Buddha ever carved. Over 70 meters tall, 1,300 years old, an ancient wonder of the world.
This must take its place amongst the great monuments of antiquity.
The giant Buddha of Lashan, carved where carving anything seemed impossible, by one extraordinary man who triumphed over evil, endured a horrible fate, and suffered an untimely death, all to give China a sacred treasure like none other.
The Leshan Buddha is truly an engineering feat.
Mongol invaders attacked it. Killer earthquakes rocked it, and still it survived. But now, Leshan's giant Buddha is fighting for its life against the modern world. A team of Chinese scientists is racing to unlock the secrets of this ancient man-made marvel, hoping they can save it before it crumbles into dust.
So what are these kinds of programs trying to get across to an audience? Many things. How resourceful we are, how brilliant we are at design, how we can overcome huge challenges. We can prevent disasters with enormous effort. And we're left with the satisfaction of a great achievement. And the people who we feature in these documentaries, the architects, the scientists and the technicians, some working far from the lab in mud and rain and cold, they become heroes. They become real heroes because they are preserving our culture. They're preserving our way of life. As science communicators, we must celebrate advances in practical areas of engineering and technology as much as advances in more high-end science like space exploration, the frontiers of chemistry, physics, and brain science. The science payoff in these stories is that you learn a lot, and that people who engineer and build flood control systems or repair ancient statues do great work for us, for our cultures. They are as important as lab-coated scientists working at advancing the boundaries of space science. And telling these stories is as much a part of science communication in a museum as it is on television. Being successful in our field hasn't come easily for NHNZ. We've had to work hard. But there are three key motivations which have proved critical for us and may have resonances for you as science communicators. We sense the possibilities of the future, not trying to be stuck in the past in terms of the themes and the style and the technology and the ideas that we present. The second one is being adaptable to change. Sometimes we have to change quickly to reflect changing public taste and to grasp opportunities before they go past. And thirdly, it's about taking risks. Not all of them will pay off, but the ones that do will enormously enhance your reputation for innovation and endear you to your audience. For example, NHNZ's name used to be Natural History New Zealand. That's what we did, nature shows. But it's here today, the company is here today because the company realized a decade ago that nature films were losing traction in the market. The market was saturated, so it decided it had to change. To reflect the new appetite of broadcasters, it expanded its genres to include science, medicine, people, and adventure. It was a smart move because the world was changing, and many of those companies that ignored the warning signs have gone extinct. Our eyes are focused on the future, not the road behind us. We maintain constant vigilance on markets, excellent communication with our clients and colleagues, and a wary eye on our competitors. We've spent the last 12 years developing relationships and commercial opportunities in Japan, China, and Singapore. We have offices in Beijing and Washington, D.C., and a controlling interest in a Singapore production company that currently has over 20 hours of production on its slate. But we're looking at continued expansion to grow our business and our successful brand of science storytelling into territories like Australia and South Africa and other opportunities that include science centres in the Asia-Pacific region.